The XHL is back and ready for some more early season action, guys, between the Dukes and the Americans. They're going to lead us off here in today's episode. Make sure you guys are leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying the series. I do appreciate every like that is given and comments as well. Keep the feedback coming. I've appreciated the feedback thus far. I have a couple comments talking about what camera angle to use, what camera angle is preferred. I prefer broadcast, but I know that some people like this dynamic or like high look to it. It doesn't really matter to me per se, as we see a goal here by Blake Como, but please let me know in the comment section if you prefer a different camera angle than the one that I'm showing here. I will have, if the majority of people want broadcast, I will end up having to change that, but you gotta let me know. So let's get into the action here, guys. We got an early 2-1 game. We got Matt Maggio with the goal. We got Blake Como with the goal as well. And we've got a defensive breakdown here after a change. Oof. I mean, what a feed. You got to give some credit there to the feed. That's crazy that they found basically almost a two-line pass. Luckily, that's not a thing here in the XHL, but you can see just by the box score there that it has been a dominating performance by the Dukes in comparison to what the Allen Americans are putting out here. Blake Como, another goal here, number 2 on the night, and a nice goal there by Lepard. And it is going to be 3-2 game here with 9 minutes left in the third period, and we've got a turnover here. Good passing all the way around for the Dukes, and a slap shot by Addison Gonzalez. That was a blistering shot that went top corner. Goaltender for the Americans had no shot at all. 4-2 game here in the third period, and another goal there by Pierce. Make it 5-2. And towards the end of the game, unfortunately for the Dukes, they give this goal up, and one more look at it, just kind of squeaked past the goaltender, Saul Goodman. Yes, that Saul Goodman. Maybe it's just a coincidence that he's got the same name, but you know what? I go out on the limb for my patrons. My patrons have players in the series. You got to honor the player name that they come up with. I mean, what do you guys want me to do? What do you want me to do? They're donating some money, some hard-earned money, guys. The economy's not so great right now, so I appreciate the support. 26 shots for the ABQ, the Dukes, and 15 for Allen. So it was a dominating performance, guys. Just they won on both sides of the ice. Seriously, they played well defensively. They played well offensively. Nice passing all the way around. But I think Goodman's got to be better. 15 shots against him, 12 went in. That's not a big sample size. So let's get out here to Niagara against Brooklyn, and we've got a beautiful move by Zilberman. I forgot the L in this player's name, so I will be going in and editing that and changing that up. But Zilberman with the deeks for days, man. Nice goal, and we actually don't have the patron goaltender here, Robert Borhoft, in net for Brooklyn. We have Aaron Dell, the goaltender here, so he's going to give up an early goal, and we've got some nice puck movement all the way with Brooklyn. And I mean, look at this. They are aggressive. They know where their teammates are located on the ice, and that is a beautiful save by Aaron Dell with the glove hand save. I love it. 14:22 left to go here in the second period, and we got a goal by Vinny Romano. Got a little puck luck right there as it just trickled over top of the goaltender. Little deflection and just found its way over his back and into the net. And we've got another great pass here, and this one trickles back again. That's Bloom with the goal. And we've got some big hitting there by Brooklyn as well, so the Dragons just creating opportunities for their offense. It is 4-1 at this point. Let's go to the third period, and I don't even know what this defenseman is doing. Castle's going to score, and Dell had no chance as we take a look at that GG9 replay. What are you doing, dude? Go play the offensive player. Go get him. We've got a power play here for Brooklyn. It is 4-2, and with good puck movement and an empty net. Yeah, a power play and an empty net. Just an interesting combination, but Zilberman will score yet again. That is 2 goals for him on the night, and Niagara will fall to the Dragons in a pretty much blowout fashion. 5-2. I would consider that a blowout. Like hockey, yeah, okay, like 7-2. That's obviously a blowout, but 5-2, 3 goals. It's very, very difficult to come by. And we take a look at the shot totals: 42 to 12, 13. for Niagara. They couldn't do anything. I mean, Dell was barely challenged at all. 13 shots against him. And quite honestly, I don't know why an 85 overall goaltender is not starting there. So, Kook, I know that's your player, and I have made that change, and I will make sure that he is into the next action here next Friday. Next Friday is our next XHL episode. So let's get into Houston against Dakota. We've got Frolik with the goal, and it was a good one. Had a turnover, bounced off his skate and everything. It was a very, very good goal to hang on. But we've got a little cheap shot right here. So Houston and Dakota, they've got a little rivalry brewing here. But oh my God, like Maddox Big, he can't even get back into the bench. Like, guys, help him out. He might have a concussion here. But Kingley's going to go down. This is another custom player. It's custom on custom right here with the fighting. We've got Brody Bush, who's a big-time enforcer here for Dakota, and Kingley is going to be the loser in this matchup. But we've got a really good look on the custom goaltender. That's, I think you'd have to tell me, is it Babich? You let me know. You let me know in the comment section. Please do. I don't want to continue to screw that up, but he's going to get tested. Houston still firing on all cylinders here offensively, trying to test the waters with the goaltender, but makes a beautiful save here. And then here's Joe Casimir with the setup there. That is Wolf with the goal, Dominic Wolf, and we'll take a look at what gear he's rocking. I love that. A little mirrored visor with the red and yellow. Love that, even though it doesn't really match with the purple and the green. But hey, the enforcer, Brody Bush, off the face-off, is going to find a way to get a goal himself. So he's been chipping in big time in this matchup. It's 3-0, but Harvey's going to get a goal. Damian Harvey, another custom player. I shouldn't even really be saying this to you guys, because you guys are going to figure out there's a lot of custom players here in this XHL. Shepard would also be another one of them. He's going to get a goal, and hey, we got a little comeback happening here. Houston with Shepard with the shot off the face-off, and Abdicator is right there to pick up the rebound and fire it into the net. It is tied 3-3. Let's go to Braden Holtby standing tall against that Dakota rush right there, but we got a big hit on Bob Green, the custom player, and here's Brody Bush again. He says, I want some more on you guys. He's going to continue to just beat this man to death. Who is it? I think it's Harvey. I think it's custom on custom again. This is a brewing rivalry, I feel like, in the Central. You've got Houston and Dakota. Dakota is in that Central division as well, but Harvey's going to go to the box, and Bush is going to go to the box as well. 7 seconds left in a tie game, and we've got a shot on Holtby. The rebound, Frolik was, if he was just a little bit closer to that where that rebound was, he would have had an easy goal, but it's still tied up, and we are going to overtime. The first overtime game in XHL history. As far as gameplay is concerned, we have had a couple games simulated. Joe Thornton is going to get called for a penalty here. It looks like to be a slashing call, and that's not a good one. With 3:47 left to go in overtime, you can't be taking those types of penalties, especially as a veteran. You can't have that, but oh, what a job there by the Demons to set up the little screen right off the face-off. Box your man out, and wide open is your winger, just skating right up towards the slot, and boom, he's there. Good goal. I mean, there's nothing you can really do as Braden Holtby just lets it go by, but take a look at how even this matchup was. Face-offs, shots, hits, time on attack, everything was fairly even for these two teams, and it's going to be an interesting little battle between these two squads here going forward. So I think that there's a little brewing rivalry happening here between the Demons and the Cosmos. Something to definitely watch out for here as we continue on. Let's get into the next matchup here. We've got the Charleston Rampage hosting the Orlando Solar Bears, one of the best hockey team names I think I've ever heard, ever. We got Apollo Love here, the defenseman, by the way. So he's coming up with the wingers and making a nice play. But defensively, we've got a little bit of a breakdown here. We got 4 skaters for the Rampage, kind of bunched up there. Good passing all the way around here for the Rampage, and then Neely's going to find a way to get it into the net thanks to a Solar Bear player. So go figure that. So it's 2-1 Charleston. So they got a little bit of puck luck right there, and then a nice goal for McAvoy another custom player, I believe, Paul McAvoy. His first goal on the season. And then, we got more defensive breakdown there for Charleston. And that is LeChuck with the goal. It is currently 3-2. And the Solar Bears on a power play, that was pretty weak. But a nice goal by Fegis right there. That's a power play goal for the Solar Bears. And it's all tied up, guys. 50 seconds left on the power play here in the second period. And Rhino Power, the X-Factor player, the lone X-Factor player, I should say, for the Rampage, gets a goal. But if you guys took a look towards the bottom left-hand corner of your screen by the boards, we do have a tripping penalty there by Tufto. And in a 4-3 game, we got a turnover here, and that's a beautiful goal by Neely, going top shelf, glove side. And in a 5-3 game, let's make it 6-3 as Komarov gets the goal. And again, just really nice passing from our XHL squads, man. And I said it in the very beginning of the episode, you know, with our teams kind of being a little bit higher rated than a lot of these ECHL teams, I'm expecting this type of blowout here. And even when we simulate, I'm expecting that our custom teams and our custom players are going to really produce at a high level. And, you know, the longer that we go with this series, these teams are going to progress as well. So it's not just that our XHL teams, our custom teams, are going to dominate every single season. These teams at the bottom will catch up because they're still going to be able to partake in free agency, in the draft for your custom players that get in. So you will have the opportunity to not only play for my custom teams, but for these ECHL, OHL type of teams, because they're in the XHL. This is the league, so they're just going to have the same ability to draft players and sign players as our custom teams would. Well, let's get into the matchup here. We've got the Toledo Walleye against the Kansas City Scouts, and this is going to be one of my favorite teams to watch because they can move the puck so incredibly well. Like we saw Brooklyn, we saw Seattle, we saw Tucson. These are some really good offenses, but Kansas City has one of the best top two lines in the XHL. I'm convinced of that. And plus, they've got some really good goaltenders with Brodeur, and they've also got this guy by the name of Lyon, Alex Lyon. So we got to be watching out for these guys in the Central as well. But, you know, Toledo looks like they're holding their own. And just as soon as I said that, it's something you just absolutely cannot do. They teach you that in Pee Wee hockey. Don't throw the puck in the middle of the net, in the middle of the ice. You can't do it. You can't do it. Malone's going to get a goal here. Going to make it 4-2 here in the third period. 9 minutes left. And look at the drop-off passing here. And Subban able to stop and do a little move. Get the goalie to give him a good look. And the rest is history. Fires it in the back of the net. And look at this. We got Filppula just turning around and firing towards the net. And that's a former NHL player that you don't want to mess with there. Valtteri Filppula, the former Detroit Red Wing. Had some solid years over there. And he's gonna ice this thing. You know, dare I use that as a pun. But Kansas City gets a nice win here over Toledo, making a statement win. And a lot of all of our XHL teams beat these minor league hockey teams. So that's a good way to start off the season. Good way to start off the series as well. Filppula with that goal. We got Pavlin with the goal. You know, between Alexeev, Pavlin, and Personin, that's the top line for the Scouts. Line number 2 is pretty good as well. So if you guys would like to know who's on those lines and keep track, I do have an Excel sheet that I'm currently working on that's not quite done yet, but I'm in the process of getting that finalized and being able to share with you. It's going to hold some historical things like records, final records for a season, statistics that are relevant for each player on the team, so on and so forth. I also have a Discord that I've created team-specific channels that I've linked screenshots in there as far as a roster goes, showing you each line and defensive pairing. So pretty cool. So if you haven't joined yet, please consider doing that. And as we go ahead and we simulate here, what I really want to do for this series is if I find a nice matchup, like a cool matchup between some top-tier XHL custom teams, or maybe eventually down the road we get, Allen, Idaho, Wichita, they start playing a little bit better comparatively to the rest of the league. The matchups will write themselves, the storylines will write themselves as giving me a reason to show you guys the matchup. Like, why would I show you Atlanta versus the Greenville Swamp Rabbits? Like, we know who's going to win that game, why would I show that to you? So at this point, when we're looking at how these custom teams are blowing everybody out, they're 13-1, Brooklyn's 15-1 through 16 games. Like, we know who the dominant teams are. And I think just by this point, this is how it's going to be for season 1. We're going to see a lot of blowouts. We're going to see a lot of wild records. There's going to be a lot of players that are going to, I think they might have a lot of points. A lot of custom guys have a lot of points. They'll be record holders, per se. The most goals scored in an XHL season, so on and so forth. And we're going to see a lot of this happening in season 1. The more that we progress, season 2, season 3, season 4, I think these ECHL, OHL teams will end up catching up the more custom players that they have on their rosters as well. So a little statistical update here. Through 16 games played, we've got the pairing between Romero and Nugmanov for Seattle, top 2 in the entire league as far as points go. We've also got Ozzie Stockton and Buck Wilson, the center and the left wing, and even Eric Stahl for Tucson, plus Antoine Russo. Man, the Tucson Armadillos, and then Connor Carnegie, Vinskov. Like, this doesn't stop. Quiggins is doing well. Wow. So the Tucson Armadillos, I think they might have one of the best offenses in the entire XHL. I've seen some Brooklyn Dragon love up there. I've seen some Flames love in there as well. Not a lot of Demons. I didn't see a lot of Demons up there. So they play a lot of good defense. They're a very enforcing type of team, very physical type of team. They're really living up to that nickname. Plus, hey, Tucson's getting some really good production out of Lion Trees, and he's 10-1. Speaking of Dakota, we've also got Louis Domingue, who's 9-1. 10-0, by the way, for Braden Holtby. 8-0 for Robert Borhoff. We will see him next time in our next episode, because he's one of our better goaltenders. He's a patron goaltender. He's 85 overall. I want to see a little bit more of him in this series. Next time I see you guys, we'll get Kansas City against the Dakota Demons, but we're in December, and I just didn't like the matchups here. So I'm going to simulate all the way and get another month's worth of an update for you guys, and we're going to begin the next episode here in January. So we're moving really quickly through this season. The Dragons are 24-2. We've got some middling performances there by the Charleston Rampage. So they are probably one of the worst XHL custom teams. They're 11-11 with 6 overtime losses. We will be taking on the Tampa Bay Sun Mutts in that next episode. So I like that matchup between two of those teams. I got a 17-7 Scouts team against a 23-4 Dakota Demons squad, so I feel like that's a good matchup. We could have shown Houston and Dakota again, but I want to kind of change it up a little bit and see how other teams fare against each other. Brooklyn is 24-2, clearly one of the better teams in the XHL. We've got Atlanta at 23-3. That's kind of a surprise because I honestly thought that Dakota was going to be high up there. I thought that Seattle was going to be high up there, and Brooklyn especially, but you know, that record for Atlanta is really surprising to me because they don't have a ton of custom players. But pretty much, I mean, things have been getting kind of solidified here. You're seeing similar names, familiar names from the last month of stats updates. You got Kazmir up there. You've got Nugmanov, Romero. So it's some pretty familiar names that we just saw in the last sim stats update there. Holtby 16-2, Borhoff 14-0. This man hasn't lost a game, and he's got 3 shutouts with a 1.27 goals against average. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But like I said, next time, guys, you know kind of the schedule here of what's up next, but I do want to show this game, Tucson against Albuquerque. That's going to be a nice little Pacific Division matchup. Maybe we possibly show Seattle and Albuquerque. Albuquerque could get shown twice. This game I definitely want to show. And then Houston against Atlanta. I want to get that one in. I could do Houston against Kansas City, but you know, I really like the idea of Kansas City playing against Dakota. So this will actually be a matchup on January 1st, so the new year. Little holiday matchup on the East Coast. Baltimore got a good offense, and Brooklyn, a good offense as well. So it should be a lot of goals being scored on that game. So very interested in seeing how that plays out. Guys, it's going to do it for this episode. you kind of know the schedule of what we're looking at here. Probably going to show some teams twice, but I think that the matchups kind of write the storylines themselves. I think we got to show some of those games and really get a better feel for these teams and how they match up against each other. That's going to do it here for the episode today. Leave a like if you like this thing. And again, let me know the feedback. What are you guys thinking here about the XHL so far? And I will be seeing you guys here next Friday for more XHL action. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.